China's President Xi Jinping is set to visit Myanmar tomorrow, the first time in almost 2 decades a Chinese leader has done so. And the visit comes as both countries mark 70 years of diplomatic ties.
While in Myanmar, Mr. Xi is expected to sign various agreements that would give some of his Belt and Road Initiative projects a boost. Our correspondent Leong Wai-kit reports.
Myanmar has always described its ties with China using a Burmese term, saying it's a propagandal relationship, which means brotherly. But President Xi Jinping's visit will be more than just Myanmar renewing its brotherly ties with China. Mr. Xi is visiting as Myanmar gears up for general elections set for November. And this would be a good time for State Councillor Aung San Suu Kyi to use the opportunity to beef up economic development for her country. In late 2018, Myanmar signed a deal with China to develop the China-Myanmar Economic Corridor as part of China's Belt and Road Initiative. 6 key projects are involved in this, including setting up a deep seaport in Rakhine State that can allow China to deliver natural oil and gas to Yunnan province. Mr. Xi is expected to sign deals that will give the Belt and Road projects in Myanmar a stronger push, which in turn will lead to further improvements for the Southeast Asian country. New infrastructure will be needed, locals will be hired, the economy generally gets a boost. It will be a much-needed boost for Ms. Suu Kyi, who's been criticized for being too slow to improve Myanmar's economy since she took office nearly 4 years ago. Economic potential aside, Ms. Suu Kyi will need to tread carefully on a controversial hydropower dam development project in Rakhine State. It was suspended in 2011 under then-President Wu Tae-seng after a public outcry over concerns that the project would affect millions of villagers. Mr. Xi's visit could also contribute to Ms. Suu Kyi's efforts to unite the country. China has always viewed peace and stability as an important aspect for doing business in Myanmar. And the more investments China has in Myanmar, the more China will continue ensuring internal conflicts are kept at bay. The Chinese president is also set to meet Myanmar Army Chief Min Aung Hlaing, a meeting that could further strengthen defense ties between these two countries. China has been one of Myanmar's main sources of military assets. It's also known to be a strong protector of Myanmar on the global platform, such as at the UN Security Council, which has been urged to take Myanmar to task over allegations of Rohingya genocide in Rakhine State. It will be tricky for Ms. Suu Kyi to balance both global and domestic interests, especially since she's already facing dwindling support from ethnic minorities who see her government as favoring the majority Burmans. Having said that, the overarching theme of Mr. Xi's visit is to celebrate 70 years of diplomatic ties with Myanmar. And that celebratory backdrop and tone could only mean one thing: that both countries will want to continue building on those ties to benefit both sides. Leong Wai-kit, CNA, Myanmar.